Alrighty. Let's go over these challenge questions, right? Because what good are the challenge questions if we're not going to learn from them? Here we go. Let's jump into a division. How's your division coming along this year? I know most people hate division coming into fifth grade. Are you still at this hate level, this hate relationship? Or are you like, I'm getting a little bit better at this whole division thing? So what is division? Well, the first number that you have, the first number that you say is like literally what you have. And then the divisor, as the number goes on the outside, it's what you're making groups of. I like to circle that divisor. Say, hey, I'm making groups of 5. I'm going to go into the thousands place. How many 5s are in 5? 1. What's left over? Well, nothing. It went in perfect. Bring down the next number. How many 5s come out of 3? None. Zip. 0. Nada. So what's left over? Well, all 3 is left over because I took away nothing from the 3. Now I have the 3 hundreds and 0 tens, which is 30 tens. How many 5s go into 30? 6. What's left over? Nothing. Took everything. How many 5s go into 5? 1. So therefore, your answer is 1061. Next question. Ooh, everyone's favorite. Angles. Angles. Use my favorite book right here to show you guys the perfect angle, what every angle wants to be. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. The perfect angle is a right angle. It's so perfect that you can make a perfect square right in the corner because it's a perfect 90-degree right angle. And I just gave you the next question I was going to ask you. What is a perfect angle? A perfect angle is 90 degrees. If you put 2 perfect angles together, you get a straight line, and 90 plus 90 is 180, so 180 is a straight line. If someone's like, whoa, I'm going to go on a skateboard and I'm going to do a complete circle, they don't call it a circle because that's not cool. Instead, they call it a 90. Just kidding, they call it a 360. Oh man, that was sick. You just did a 360. So we're trying to find something that's 45. If this is a 90, a 45 would be half of it. So you're looking for something whose mouth is only open half of what 90 would be. And this one is flopped backwards. See? So if you looked at this part being the mouth, then this would hit your 90 degrees. This is bigger than 90. I'm sorry, that would hit your 45 degrees. This is bigger than 90 degrees if we're looking at this being the mouth. This is exactly 90 degrees if we're looking at this being the mouth. And this is bigger than 90 degrees if we're looking at this being the mouth. This is called obtuse, right angle, obtuse, acute angle. And this acute angle would be your 45 degrees. So I'm going with D. Which of the following equations are equal to 42 times 68? I know you hated this question because I'm not going to lie to you. I pasted this in because I took it out of your guys' end of the year test, and I'm like, this will be nice for the students to look at. And then I was going through it. I'm like, uh-oh, this is not nice for the students to look at. But it's a good conversation. What is going on when you multiply 42 times 68? 42 times 68. Well, let's just look at the traditional way to multiply. The first thing that you would multiply is 8 times 2. And then you'd multiply 4 times 8. But it's not really a 4. It's 40 times 8. And then you would multiply. This is not a 6, but it's 60. So you'd multiply 60 times 2. And then you'd multiply 60 times 40. And then when you're done with that, you add them all together. That's the traditional way, right? 8 times 2 is 16. And then 4 times 8 plus 1 is, and then you'd go through 33, and you'd write all that down, right? And then after that line, you'd put a 0. But this is technically what we did, right? So I'm going to use this to kind of help me determine which one of these is right. So this one says 40 This is 40. Remember, 42 is 40, and it's 2. 68 is 60, and it's 8. So 40 times, and then you're going to basically say 68. So 40 times 68 and 2 times 68. Would that give you your right answer? Yes, because what you're basically doing is you're saying this is 68 because it's 60 plus 8, and then you're multiplying 68 by 2, and then you're multiplying 68 by 40, and that's what that number is, 40 and 2. So this works. What about 40 times 2 plus 60 times 8? This is 68. It's not 68 times. This is not 42 times. This doesn't make any sense. What about down here? 40 times 60 plus 40 times 8 plus 2 times 60 plus 2 times 8. Does this hit all of them? Yes, it does. This one works. What about 8 times 2 plus 8 times 40 plus 2 times 60, 2 times 8? Does that hit everything? Yeah, the only thing it doesn't hit is 60 times 8 or 40 times 2, which we don't want to multiply those two. So we try to make logical sense on why the three of these work. This one doesn't make any sense. You're just adding the numbers together. 32 is not even in here. 24 is not even in here. 12 is not even in here. 16 is not even in here. This one makes no sense. Now, the other thing you could have done is you could have actually simplified each of these and see if it first see what 42 times 68 is, right? And then simplify each of these just to see if it equals the same amount. Okay. But nonetheless, I bet you there's only 2 or 3 students that didn't give up on this one. They're like, it's just one question. Let me just guess. So good for you if you're one of those 2 or 3 students. That's a tough, challenging, frustrating question. Okay. And then, ooh, everybody's favorite, the irregular volume. What do we have to do when we have the irregular volume? We got to break it up into 2 normal figures. So we could break it up here, and then we have 2 normal figures, or we could actually break it up here. I'll break it up like this. And then remember, you just want to find the area and then multiply it by its height. The area here is 8 times 2, right? How do you know? Because this is 8, and this is 2. So the area here is 16. And 16 goes up and down 3. So 16 times 3. So we have 16, and then we have 32, and then we have 48. So that's 48. And now we have to figure out this one. It looks like we have a lot of missing numbers for this one, but remember, they always give us just enough information to figure it out. So if this entire thing is 12, we don't need this piece. And we have the number of this piece, which is 8. So if the whole thing's 12 and we don't need 8 of it, that means the rest of it's 4, because 4 plus 8 is your 12. And if this is 4 and this is 10, perfect. We just need this now. And this is 2. We searched the whole thing until we found something equal to it, and it was right here. Do we have this number? Sure we do, because we have it down here. That's 4. And if that number's 2, this number's 2. And if this number's 4, this number's 4. So 4 times 2 is 8. So the area of the top is 8, and 8 goes up and down 10. So that's 80. So now all we have to do is add 80 plus 48. So let me do that on my paper here. 48, 80, 8 plus nothing is 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm getting 128. Did you guys get 128? I'm getting 128. Let's see if it's even in here. Uh-oh, it's not. That means I made a mistake. Believe it or not. All right. Let me make sure the mistake was made before I go and switch it. Let me just start over. I'll do it live and see if I can come up with that same 128 answer. All right. Let's start. Still cut it right here. 8 times 2 is 16, and I want to do 16 times 3. That's 48. Okay, so 16 times 3 is 48. So I have a volume here of 48. And then I'm going to go to this side, and I'm going to say, what are, well, this is 2, so everything's 2. And then what's this side? Well, this side must be 12 minus 8, which is 4. So that's 4, that's 8, right? 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 10 is 80, so this is 80. So if I have a volume of 80 and a volume of 48, 80, 48, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I'm getting 128 again. So I'll go ahead and I'll switch that right about now. Okay, now let's make sure I didn't make any other mistakes. 5 out, okay, the victory's not really there because I made the one boo-boo. Oh well, wouldn't be a Friday without making a mistake, right? So now for your assignment for the day, when you're finished with the challenge questions and you watch this video, you're going to go and rock this operation assignment. You are going, I know this is a very difficult question. I get that. You're going to go through each level and you're going to try to figure out what level you're at. I'm hoping you guys have mastered every single level at this point, but this will tell me the students that are still struggling with certain parts of their operation, okay? So just please don't use a calculator. Go through it, rock this as honestly as you can, and then we'll go from there. On Monday, I'll kind of see which ones of you are still struggling with the certain areas, and we'll kind of tie up any loose ends, okay? All right. Thank you for rocking your math, and enjoy the rest of your Friday.